Thing I want to say is Eminem is obviously a gay man. It's very sad that Eminem cleaned out his closet but never came out of his closet. Eminem, in the ultimate pander to Black America, he's just like, please buy my album. So many of them are flopping. I will say anything. What do I have to do? Who do I have to throw under the bus? But I can diss her because my plans are to get in her pants and I'll blow my chance if I answer back to her. Oh my, so cool. That's a tough one. That's so tough. The Black community is going to be going crazy. So irrelevant. Your music isn't good anymore. And like I said, you're the one that's actually cosplaying a race that you aren't. You're desperate for Black Americans to pick up your tracks.
All right, grace and peace. We're back. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. Candace Owens versus Eminem. Good gracious, man. I mean, she stays on somebody's bumper. She's always got to have somebody she's beefing with. I don't even understand anymore. Anyway, I had not seen this until recently. Someone shared it with me, so I want to go ahead and talk about it. Let's bring it in. I just want y'all to check it out. Candace Owens was having a beef with Eminem, of all people. Let's go.
Also, we've got Eminem. In case you're thinking, Candace, that name vaguely rings a bell. Yes, I'm referring to the white rapper that we all used to listen to when we were prepubescent and we wanted to feel edgy. One with the bleach blonde hair, inspired a generation of 14-year-old boys to wear Echo Limited. No? Don't know what I'm talking about still? Not ringing a bell? Okay, he wrote a lot of songs about killing his baby mama, Kim. 8 Mile, the movie, yeah, now it's starting to come to you. Well, apparently Eminem is still releasing music, and guess what, guys? He is edgier than ever. He's written 2 diss tracks that feature me. Lastly, Jordan Peterson is now trending on Twitter under the headline, Hero or Hypocrite. And I hate to say, literally this time, I hate to say that I told you so. You guys were mad at me for pointing out that he was tweeting in a weird way. Now the public has caught on. That's what's coming up on Candace Live. So people in the live chat are calling him Feminem. They're calling him woke shady. Here's what I will say about Eminem. I heard the music, and I'm going to take you through the lyrics. And it's become very apparent to me that Eminem is having his Hillary Clinton hot sauce moment. Now, if you don't remember what that moment was, back in 2016, she was doing the obligatory rounds and having to pretend that she likes Black people. And she visited Charlemagne the God and the Breakfast Club, as is mandatory for all presidential candidates, especially Democrat ones. And she had this moment when she was asked what she carries in her bag. Take a listen.
No more questions? They said no, she has to go.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to Black people.
Okay. Is it working?
Wow.
It's kind of weird. The more I watch that clip, the more I kind of like her. That's just like very honest. She's like, I'm pandering to Black people and I just want to know if it's working. I've got hot sauce in my bag. In case you don't know why she said that, that was because at the time Beyonce's song Formation was viral, and there's this moment where she says, I've got hot sauce in my bag, swag. So Hillary Clinton was talking and speaking with Black people, and she wanted them to vote for her. So what better way than to use a clever Beyonce lyric when asked what she always has in her purse? Because obviously she travels with hot sauce in her bag, swag. Get it? Is it working? It didn't work. Guys, she lost the election, so that's just a quick update for you. But you know who is putting that on, who is putting on his best Hillary Clinton 2016 impression? Eminem, in the ultimate pander to Black America. He's just like, please buy my album. So many of them are flopping. I will say anything. What do I have to do? Who do I have to throw under the bus?
I think this is a very interesting take. I'm not an Eminem fan, but Eminem has been a staple on the hip hop rap scene landscape for some time. So he's put out 12 studio albums, and she's talking about the album that he put out in July of 2024. He's put out 12 albums. That's a lot of material. And not every one of them has been flopping. So the idea and the notion that he's doing this in order to get attention, I don't know, Candace. I wonder if maybe I need to do a quick search and see how successful each album has been, because I don't think Candace has actually thought about that.
First thing I want to say is Eminem is obviously a gay man. It's very sad that Eminem cleaned out his closet but never came out of his closet. Eminem, in the ultimate pander to Black America. He's just like, please buy my album. So many of them are flopping. I will say anything. What do I have to do? Who do I have to throw under the bus? But I can diss her because my plans are to get in her pants and I'll blow my chance if I answer back to her. Oh my, so cool. That's a tough one. That's so tough. The Black community is gonna be going crazy. So irrelevant. Your music isn't good anymore. And like I said, you're the one that's actually cosplaying a race that you aren't. You're desperate for Black Americans to pick up your tracks. At her. Oh, laugh at her like them crackers she's backing after her back is turned in a cute MAGA hat with her brand new White Lives Matter shirt. Haha, nope. Or say this MAGA dirtbag in a skirt just opened the biggest can of worms on the whole planet Earth. Call her Grand Wizard, yeah, Candace, haha, or Grand Dragon, or like the national anthem, I won't stand for the tramp. Why? But I can diss her, because my plans are to get in her pants, and I'll blow my chance if I answer back to her. Oh, but I can't diss her, because his plans are to get in my pants. Ew, you disgust me. Okay, a lot going on here. I think first and foremost, I just would like to again remind people that he is in fact a struggling internally gay man, and so there's a lot happening with Eminem. And
I'm just interested, and the reason I want to stop right here is because I pulled up Eminem's discography and how many albums has he sold. I don't think he's a struggling rapper at all. Whether you like him or not, I don't think he's struggling by any means or measure. So I don't know where she got that struggle. She just seems to be saying it. And again, like I've never heard anybody say that Eminem was of the alphabet community. I mean, it is Eminem, pun intended, but is he a part of the alphabet community? I didn't know that. But okay, where did she get that from? She seems to be very quick to call somebody a part of the alphabet mafia when in fact she doesn't have any proof of that. I've heard her say it several times. It just seems interesting. But real quick, the last three albums of Eminem, I mean, his first album sold less than 1,000 units. His first studio album, the Slim Shady, did 7.3 million. But worldwide, the Marshall Mathers album, I guess would be his sophomore album, 25 million. Then the next one, 27, 11, 5.9, then another 20, then 6.5. Then he went in 2017, he had a 1.5 million. And then the last album in 2018, 2.75. I want to stop there because this is now we're entering into the streaming world. So I don't know how streaming plays a part into an artist's success because, you know, about 2017-ish, I think I got on Spotify around 2015. So I don't know where this, you know, where streaming and all of that comes into play. But let me get to the last two albums. His last album, the one that she's referring to, the one before, was 4.9 million worldwide. That's not bad. What are you talking about? That's pretty great. Now it's not, you know, it's not 27 like you said before, but 4 million, and that's his 11th album. And then the last album here, it only says that he had basically 250,000 sales in the first week, but it doesn't give me the final number. And this is the album that she's reading the lyrics from. I don't know where she's getting struggling rapper from. Again, I'm not a Slim Shady fan by any means or measures, but you cannot say that the man has not moved product, sold units. I don't think you can say that. Anyway, let's let Candace continue.
We should pray for him. On the second point, the way that we know that is because he's actually recycling things that Black women have said about me on the internet. Like he's pretending this is original, calling me Candace. It's not. This is like he's just recycling the Black women that don't like me on the internet, have a lot of names for me, one of them being Candy O. So he's like watched what they're saying, and I guess someone who was listening to him in the booth was like, yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, drop the beat. They're really, 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 really going to like that. By the way, there's a second song he also dropped. This one's called Bad One. And the lyrics are this about me. Yeah, this whole subgenre with all these corny white rappers, I'm not a fan of it. It ain't my fault, but like sock puppets, I had a hand in it. this $1,000 in my hand is just like what Candace did when she turned her back on her own race, because I have abandoned it. Oh my, so cool. That's a tough one. That's so tough. The Black community is going to be going crazy. Not. I don't think that's going to happen at all. Actually, I'm doing this because I want to help him go viral, because this is sad. This is very sad. I want you to feel sad for Eminem, because this is just not the way for someone's career to go down the drain. And I want us all to do our part to help make Eminem relevant again, at the very least. And he can be relevant just by me speaking about him. He understands that. By the way, I did TMZ earlier. They were asking me, like, you know, in part, though, aren't you honored that someone who is recognized as the greatest white rapper of all time is dedicating all of his time to you? And I said no, because it would have meant something if he was at his prime. As an example, Dave Chappelle, he made a really, honestly, it was kind of a hideous joke about me. I didn't think the joke itself was funny, but I did appreciate the fact that Dave Chappelle, who is the most famous comedian in the entire world at the peak of his career, was mentioning me on stage. Like when he was very sad about George Floyd and he did this whole skit and he said some awful things about me. I did have that moment where I went, wow, Dave Chappelle knows who I am. This is not that with Eminem. He is not at the peak of his career. He's at the end of it. His career should have ended like 15 years ago, and he keeps going. And so this is not a rapper that's at the top. He's actually doing he's going through a strategy that a lot of new rappers do, where they find out who is the big rapper and they start a beef, right? He's like, oh, nobody knows who I am, so I'm just going to start a beef with Candace Owens. And he's just fading out of the American mindset entirely. So this is what he's come up with. And I want to say this, genuinely, the pander here is pathetic. He's literally making a plea to the public. I hate white people. That's what he's saying. He's calling white people crackers. He's using a slur against his own people, while at the same time, unironically, accusing me of doing what he's doing. He's like, she turned her back on her own race, as he turns his back on his race and calls them crackers. I've never used slurs to describe Black Americans because I don't have an issue with my race, but you very much have an issue with yours. And the other thing is, like, he doesn't even know what his audience is. Again, this feels very maybe could have done something in 2016 when the whole world was, you know, so anti-Trump and it was the George Floyd moment. He doesn't even understand what's happening. I mean, that conversation has broken in the Black community. That's why Trump's numbers are up. Beyond that, I've been on the Breakfast Club. I've done Joe Budden. Like, Black Americans are following this podcast. They actually like me. I went viral on a few of those channels, on Instagram channels the other day because of my conversation with Don Lemon. They're starting to hear what I have been saying, because back in 2016, when I was saying Black Lives Matter was a fraudulent organization, people were not ready to listen to that. But then what happened was they proved that they were a fraudulent organization, and people said, yeah, no, I think Candace may have been trying to tell us that, and she was right, and maybe I need to listen to her rather than listen to what other people are telling me about her. And one of those people that they're not going to listen to is you, Eminem, because you're just so irrelevant. Your music isn't good anymore. And like I said, you're the one that's actually cosplaying a race that you aren't. You're desperate for Black Americans to pick up your tracks because you abandoned the audience of a lot of people who were listening to your music. I'm a trailer park kid, and then what did you do? You dunked on kids from the trailer park. You dunked on actually an entire middle class of white people who loved your music. You dunked on people in the country. For what reason? For what reason other than you misread the room? And the way and the reason that you misread the room, rather, is because what's actually happened to Eminem is he's an out-of-touch elitist. He is. This is what happens. He is now a lefty elitist. He belongs on a campaign trail with Hillary Clinton when she runs for the third or fourth time. That's what he should be doing, because he's pretending to know anything about what's going on. The reality is that a lot of those people in the country that he doesn't like, take it from me, I moved to Tennessee, have a lot more in common with the people that he's trying to appeal to. I think he thinks he's appealing to, like, what, the hood? They have a lot more in common because these are regular people who are suffering in different but similar ways, who recognize that the economy is not good and an Eminem track is not going to make it better. Here's the last thing I want to say about Eminem. He is a lesson to a lot of people out there that you need to know when it's time for you to retire. You don't want to retire on this note, right? Eminem is 51 years old. He has not modified his brand at all. He's not grown up. most people know that you do have to evolve your brand, right? You can even see this as just one example. Miley Cyrus, like in 2016 or maybe a little bit before, she was like shaking her butt. We can't stop twerking. And now she's cleaning it up and she's singing music that's still catchy, but it's not so crass. And she's actually giving interviews saying that, this is who I was because I wanted to break out of the Disney shell, and this is who I am, and this is where I'm going. And I don't think she gets it right all the time, but I can at least recognize that she's evolving. Eminem's not evolving. He still thinks that he's a 13-year-old boy who is rapping in his room, and that somehow people are going to find that appealing, when in reality, he's 51 years old. His daughter, or maybe he's older than 51, his daughter has just gotten married, which means that Eminem should be behaving more like a potential grandparent. He's granddad. This is granddad Shady. You know what I mean? But granddad is not acting like a granddad. I'm going to need granddad to start acting like a granddad and not producing this trash to pander to the black community. That's what I want to say on that point.
You've made it if Eminem disses you. I agree. Gets dissed, shows lyrics, doesn't actually address them, throws insults and complaints at M, which he already mentioned in his album, calls him gay. And this is y'all's hero? I mean, I see what M has always made diss tracks about women that he loves. So in essence, Candace, he loves you. Okay. Interesting. The album hit #1 on Apple Music in 8 hours. I doubt his career has gone down the drain. That's what I was saying. I don't understand streaming, so I don't want to say that, units sold, is that the same thing as streams? I don't know. So I doubt highly that I agree with this person. I doubt highly he's on the downswing. M is so unknown that you put his name in the title. I mean, no lie detected. No lie detected for sure. But let me know what y'all think. I think it is interesting that in the same breath that Candace is saying that Slim Shady should stop putting out content, he should evolve. There could be an argument there. We've seen lots of rappers as they age out, move into different areas. Okay, no problem, no argument there. But what about yourself, though? Like, a lot of what she said could be said about her as well. And is that the same, though? Is that the same? Can we make that same comparison? If we can say this about Marshall Mathers, can we say this about Candace Owens? Or can we also say that Candace hasn't evolved? She hasn't really grown, because really you sound a lot like the same leftist argumentations that when we first were introduced to you back on Social Autopsy days. I'm just wondering. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I really appreciate you all for rocking with me. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Whitt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.